Hey, what's up, boys? Today I'm going to show you how to change the oil on your Diddy's F250. Alright, first I like to let the motor run for a couple seconds, just kind of, heat the motor up a little bit. That way the oil isn't super cold. All you're going to need is a bunch of oil, so you're going to need 13 quarts of oil. That's what this thing takes. So what I use on my truck is Shell Ortella T6 5W40 on there. I get 13 quarts of this, so I end up getting 4 jugs. I only use 3 and then 1 quart from the other jug. And I'll show you the filter. This is the filter I use. It's a Motorcraft. You can get this at Walmart. You can get it at your Ford dealer. It's a FL TAC 2051S, and that's gonna be the filter. All right, just a nice Ford filter. Got an O-ring on there. So make sure when you take the filter off the truck that you make sure that the O-ring comes off with it. Whenever you're doing an oil change on these trucks, I recommend to drain the water from your fuel filter from the truck fuel filter. So I'll show you how to do that, and I'll show you how to change this bad boy out. You'll only need a like an oil filter wrench, a pretty deep oil pan to hold all the oil that comes out of the engine, and then you'll also need a like a 5/8 socket, I believe. So pretty easy, pretty simple. But I'll take you guys under the truck and show you guys what I'm going to do. All right, boys, we're under Diddy's truck. Go ahead and pull that drain plug. So here's the transmission, here's the engine, here's the plug that you're gonna pull. Before you pull it, make sure you got some freaking rags so you don't get oil everywhere. Don't get it on your dad's driveway, he'll be freaking pissed. Alright, boys, I got the rags. Let's see. Alright, so I said it's a 5/8. Let's see if I'm a liar or not. Boom, 5/8. That's what I was talking about. Oh, dang, boy. Gotta get your gym, gotta get your weight up. I'm not lying. This is actually kind of difficult. I'm gonna go get a 1/2 inch because can I break it loose? Yeah. Do I want to punch the ground? No. Alright, boys. Alright, boys. I got the big guns. Got the 1/2 inch drive. Still at 5/8. Oh, man. There we go. Super easy that way. So she's going to be a squirter, boy. I know she's going to drip a little bit, and she's also going to squirt it out. So if you can get a drain pan kind of like this, that's usually the best way to go. Instead of one of the round ones. I don't really like the round ones. Also keep in mind, if it's windy like it is here today, probably going to send some of the oil everywhere. So hope it doesn't hit me, because it's kind of warm. I guess I let the truck run for a little bit. If you are using one of those pans that doesn't have something to catch the bolt, make sure you don't drop it. Boom, professional, baby. You call me a lube tech. Lube it up. So you can see my oil is a little dirty. Had it in the truck for a while. We're gonna get some nice new clean oil in there. So once that's done draining, you can go ahead and put this plug back in. Usually I let the truck sit here for a couple minutes. Kind of look at it though to make sure that your stream isn't gonna start blowing all over the place. Remember, this thing has like 13 quarts of oil in it, so make sure you have a big enough pan, because the worst thing is to fill the pan all the way up. This is a 24 quart pan, so it'll be more than enough, but just be mindful you don't want to have a driveway full of oil. See what I was saying about the freaking wind blowing? Killing me. It's blowing this way, so got oil all over the freaking driveway now. Dad's gonna be freaking pissed, dude. Alright, boys, well, I don't have fancy gloves, so I'm gonna loosen the oil filter with this oil filter wrench and then use this so I don't get covered in oil, hopefully. See, I still got a little steady stream. This has been sitting here for about 4 or 5 minutes. Still got a little bit of oil coming out. We'll get on the driveway. That's gonna be freaking pissed. Alright, boys. I'm gonna go on the other side. Get it with this wrench. There's gonna be a bunch of oil in this filter, so just keep that in mind. Oh man. Alright, so once you get it kind of loose where you can grab it with your hand, take a bag or whatever, or your gloves or what, however you want to do it, slip it over there so you don't get covered in oil, and then loosen it. You're going to get a sensation of oil in the bag. It's going to be nasty. But, oh, now there's a hole in the bag. Maybe not. I'm going to get covered in oil. Whatever. I didn't put the bag up high enough. This has been a huge mistake. Huge mistake. Huge mistake. Look like I killed somebody. Look at my hands. Alright. Now to grab this rag and not get a bunch of oil on the driveway. See me put my knee in it. There we go. OSHA, I hope you're not watching. EPA, I hope you don't see this. Got a little bit of oil in the driveway. Hope Dad doesn't see it. Dad would be pissed. Most people like to get rid of their oil and throw it in the ocean along with their car batteries, but I like to take mine back to the store. I'll probably end up taking this. I'll end up taking this oil back to I got like Advanced Auto Parts or whoever will let me recycle it there. They're usually pretty cool bros. Hopefully. I don't have any coolant to get rid of. That's what's hard to get rid of, is coolant. Nobody wants to take coolant. And nobody wants it when it's mixed with oil. Unfortunately, I've been there. Mixed a little coolant with a little oil. Sinking four-wheelers or blowing head gaskets. A couple ways you could do that. So yeah, you see she's draining. I'm just gonna let her chill here and drain for a little bit. A big thing to do is make sure that the gasket came off with the oil filter, which you could just touch the oil filter and you can see that the O-ring or gasket, whatever you want to call it, is still on the oil filter. So that one's still on there, so I'm good. I'm gonna let it drain for another minute and then toss on this new filter and put the plug in. Key thing you want to do with the new filter to make it a little easier when you take it off the next time is to take like your finger, touch it in some of that old oil. You could do it with new oil, doesn't really matter, and just kind of rub around that O-ring. It's gonna give it some lubrication so that way it doesn't get stuck to the truck. I don't know. I've had some that I've taken off that are way more difficult than others. So something you could do to be nice to the next guy, or your dad, or the oil change guy. Alright boys, well, it's not really draining too much anymore, so I'm going to go ahead and put the plug back in here. And when I say plug, I really mean this bolt that I took out. I'm going to have to reach through the oil drippage. I would like to wipe it down a little bit, make sure there's no metal on it. I don't think this is a magnetic one. Probably not a bad choice to get a magnetic one if you want. But I'll usually start at a couple threads by hand before I do anything. And then I'll wipe it down. or wipe down the oil pan really. Kind of wipe it down, continue to screw that bad boy in. Just get it hand tight and snug her down. 1,000,000 foot-pounds I think is the torque spec. 1,000,000 horse-pounds is the torque spec, or 12 jug of Uggas with a Milwaukee. Not on that DeWalt crap. That's going to need a 5,000,000 chug of Uggas because DeWalt sucks. Milwaukee's the way to go, baby. So wipe that down. Wipe the oil filter gets oil freaking everywhere over these I think coolant lines. Probably goes up to a trans cooler in the front of the truck. So wipe that freaking bad boy down. Get oil all over yourself. Re-lube the top of my filter because it's been sitting here for a couple minutes. Lube her up, boys. And then I'm gonna actually you could fill this up with oil if you want before you put it up on there. A lot of people do that because this thing holds a bunch of freaking fluid, so I'll actually do that. I don't know, almost a quart, maybe a little less, but I went ahead and just threw it in there. I'm gonna screw this bad boy on, and then after you screw it on, usually I get them hand tight with 2 hands. Doesn't have to be anything crazy. Got the thing all wiped down. Wipe me down, because I'm on. Wipe me down, baby. She's all wiped down. If you want to be a good boy, you can come in here and shoot some brake clean. I'll probably do that, but I'm going to move the camera because the brake clean gets everywhere. Let's go up top, baby. Let's go see what we got going on over here. Alright boys, we're up top. So what you're going to want to do if you're short like me, and usually when you have a big truck like this, you are short or you're short in other areas. What I want to do is get a cooler or something to stand on. This is an overpriced cooler. This is a Yeti cooler. It's really overpriced. It's honestly a piece of junk. I've had Igloos that are better. And I recommend using a big fat filter. I also recommend not doing this when it's so freaking windy out because it's going to probably blow some oil all over the place. And I don't want to do that. So I'm going to get up in the engine bay. Got a fresh jug of wet. I'm just going to climb up in here. I'm going to climb up in here. Don't tell my dad I was climbing on his truck. Down. Oh yeah, she's thirsty, boys. So you'll see on the cap, the oil cap says 10W30 or 5W40. I think 5W40 is if you're running like synthetic or whatever. Just don't go on the forum and ask what kind of oil to run because everybody's going to yell at you. Especially if it's for your dad's truck. I'll roll my ankle jumping down. See why I got the cooler. Big jugs. These are not the kind of big jugs I wanted to deal with today, boys. Alright, after you put the 13 quarts of oil, put it in this thingy right here. This is where the oil's going to go in. You want to check it with this dipstick. If you don't know how to check this, probably shouldn't be changing the oil on your Diddy's truck. One thing I noticed when I was up here, some stuff I got to address. I got corrosion on that terminal, and that terminal is pretty beat up, right? I replaced these batteries not that long ago. I'm going to go ahead and replace that terminal. Not today. I'm going to do it a different day. I'm going to order it, get a good terminal, but I don't like that. Probably do this one too because it's got some corrosion. But look at this. Look at this. There is a hole in this intercooler pipe. I think it's an intercooler pipe. It looks like the turbo shoots the air out of here, comes in through this. I don't know if this like goes the intercooler or what. And then it goes out into this pipe and it looks like it goes into the intake manifold from there. So This pipe is gonna have to go. I've heard people complaining about the intercooler pipes stock on these trucks, so maybe it needs an intercooler pipe. I'll get some hard pipes and that'll fix that issue. I think they're intercooler pipes. I might be wrong. I don't know what this is. This is weird. This little box thing, I'm not used to intercoolers looking like this. So maybe that's not an intercooler. Maybe I'm an idiot. But this is an air box, or this pipe goes to the air box. You see, I got the stock air box on there still. So yeah. But that's pretty much how you change the oil on the truck. If you have a Cummins or a Chevy, probably just don't watch this video. Probably just sell your crappy truck and get you a real Ford, a Super Duty truck, baby. My dog's over there being bad. They're messing around in the wood. But make sure that you guys like and subscribe, baby, so I can continue to change the oil on my Diddy's truck, because I can't afford this thing. So, but I bought it with my allowance that I got from my dad, so it's not my dad's, right? See you guys next time. Sean O'Connell on YouTube, baby. Realized I forgot to show you guys something. This. So you see where I'm at? There's the front of the truck. This thing right here, a little box thingy, this is where one of your fuel filters is, right? The sensor will tell you when you need to change it, or it won't tell you that. It'll just say water contamination and fuel or something like that. But if you drain this bad boy, you'll never get a message. So to drain this, you just basically turn this yellow valve right here. It's gonna leak a little bit of water and stuff out of here, a little bit of fuel, a little bit of water. It's gonna drain out. I didn't show it on camera because I don't want to get it everywhere. But be careful when you turn this thing, because you can break this very easily. If you can go to your dealer and buy one of these to keep as a spare, I highly recommend it in case you break this bad boy. Some people put a big fancy metal like CNC billet aluminum thing on there. I don't do all that. I just keep rocking with this, because with that billet aluminum one, you might break this part, and I don't want to break that. So make sure you guys like and subscribe, boys.